Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Tren here with another Demon Hunter guide. Today, this guide is going to be for Shadowlands, and as you guys know, Demon Hunter is not in the greatest state, but I still managed to get rank 1 in 2s. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it. I'm going to show you guys about Covenants, Legendaries, Talents, everything you need to know is going to be in this guide. And I'm super excited to release it because I delayed it a little bit because I wanted to play a lot, and actually I wanted to really get high rating and find a build and talents and spec and whatever, like gear, all that stuff. I wanted it to really work and not just release a guide very quickly with like information that is not really good. So I'm really excited to show you guys this, and I'm gonna put timestamps in the video so you guys can click through and whatever you need to find. And enjoy the guide, guys. Hey, before we start, I just want to tell you guys, if you have any questions, you can always come to my stream. It's twitch.tv/Trenacetate. Yeah, man, smash that sub button, notification squad, you know what I mean. Follow me on Twitch, and yeah, man. Okay, enjoy the guide, peace. Alright, guys, so as you guys can see here, we're playing Fellblade Demon Blades again. This talent build is definitely the best for Demon Hunters. I don't really play with Demonic Appetite and Burning Hatred or Demonic Appetite Insatiable Hunger anymore because it just doesn't give enough healing. Fellblade Demon Blades gives a lot of damage, and it actually gives you more survivability than Demonic Appetite. And I'm gonna explain why. So, right now, Demon Hunter is extremely squishy, okay? You cannot face tank melees anymore. You cannot sit and just tank damage over and over again. What you need to abuse is your mobility, and your mobility comes from Fell Rush. Now, if you play with Fellblade and you can connect on a target constantly with using your Fellblade, you have more Fell Rushes available to actually kite the DPS. I really like this guide. I tried Demonic Appetite and I feel like the damage is just so bad, and even though the healing from the Soul Fragments from Demonic Appetite can do a little bit, it's not enough. It is completely nerfed, the leech is nerfed, so I don't really like it. I rather rely on my mobility and kite rather than expect my Demonic Appetite healing to do something, right? So, as you guys can see, first it's Fellblade, then it's Demon Blades, and there's a new talent, it's called Glaive Tempest. You can pick two talents here. It's either Glaive Tempest or Throw of Ruin. Throw of Ruin will do more damage overall in a fight, like if you sim it, right? I don't know if people are familiar with simming, but let's say I stand at a target dummy and I hit it for 10 minutes. I will do more damage with Throw of Ruin than with Glaive Tempest. However, Glaive Tempest is an AoE burst ability that you can use in stuns, and that will actually give you, like, Glaive Tempest will give you a shorter, it's a longer cooldown, but it will do more burst in a shorter time, right? So if you stun a target, you Glaive Tempest and you like use the hunt on him, it's gonna do more damage than if you play with Trail of Ruin. That's why I pick Glaive Tempest. Other than that, you see Soul Rending and Netherwalk. You can pick Netherwalk against like Rogue Mage comps or like double DPS comps, but most of the time I just pick Soul Rending. First Blood is still baseline. Essence Break is not a really good talent. Cycle of Hatred is not good either. Just pick First Blood talent and Fell Eruption and Demonic. People be asking me about Momentum. I don't like Momentum myself. Demonic just does a lot more damage. So you can literally play this build. Fellblade, Demon Blades, Glaive Tempest, Soul Rending, First Blood, Fell Eruption, Demonic into everything that you face. You don't. It's super simple, right? You don't need to play Demonic Appetite, Burning Hatred, or against some comps. You can play this every single game. Alright, so on to the Honor Talents. In Shadowlands we got a few new Honor Talents like Cleanse by Flame, we got Mortal Rush, and they actually remove Solitude, right? So I'm gonna explain you guys about each talent when I pick it and when I don't pick it, and whatever, right? So Cover of Darkness, in 3v3, 9 out of 10 times I play this talent. Like, the game is so fast paced, Cover of Darkness is so good, and it actually works very well with your Darkness Legendary, which I will speak about later in the video. But Call of Darkness is really good. Also, Detainment is a talent that I find myself picking most of the times. It just allows you for better setups. You can incap, stun, like incap the healer, stun the DPS, and kill someone. Detainment is just really good. And Reverse Magic, I only pick this when there's a magical effect, like a sheep or a hunter's trap or a boomy with root beam. That's when I play with Reverse Magic. Or Shadow Priest, you can remove silences, dots, whatever. Now, Cleanse by Flame, in 3v3 I never played this talent. I have never found myself playing this talent. I've only found myself playing this talent personally against Frost Mages in 2v2. In 2v2 you can play like Cleanse by Flame, Reverse Magic, and like Detainment against a Frost Mage, but against Shadow Priests or Warlocks, I don't really play it. I don't. I'm not a great fan of it, but I only found it really useful against Frost Mages in 2v2. Now, big question, right? Yo, Trent, do you still play Mana Rift? Yes or no? Every now and then I play Mana Rift, and I found some success in it in 3v3, but I mostly found success in it in 2v2. Combined with Mortal Rush, you can healers very, very easily with Mana Rift if you cannot really kill early on in the game, right? So if you expect the game is going to be very long, or if you just struggle against any, like let's say against Disc Priest, Mana Rift is really, really good. Against Holy Paladins, it's a bit weaker, but it will still work, you know? Mana Rift in 2v2 is still a thing. In 3v3, I haven't really played it myself because I haven't really played Dampening Comps, so maybe if you play Demon Hunter DK, something like that, it can work. But in 2v2, Mana Rift is still a good and valid pick. You can still play this all the time. Demonic Origins, I never ever play this. It's really bad. Rain from Above is really fucking good because, as you guys know, the game is very bursty. Demons are super squishy. So having a Rain from Above is really nice. Remember this, Rain from Above is used as a defensive talent, okay? You don't use this to do damage. It does not do that great damage. It's not really, I mean, you don't really use it to pump someone. You use this as a defensive mechanic. Let's say a warrior will Stormbolt you. You fly up in the air, you avoid the Stormbolt, or if they pop all their CDs, you just fly up in the air and you avoid all the damage. Mana Break, I never picked this. And Unending Hatred, I only play Unending Hatred against like double casters if I don't have to pick either Reverse Magic, Darkness, Detainment. If I can get away with, like, let's say I'm playing Reverse, Darkness, and Detainment against double casters, I'll play this, right? Let's say it's an Affliction Warlock Shadow Priest, and your healer's like, yo, let's just do full damage. You don't really need to play Reverse because they're confident. You can play Unending Hatred then. Alright, on to our stat priority and our enchants. It has changed from what it was in BFA. The best right now is Agility, then comes Versatility. Haste and Crit are equal, guys, okay? Haste and Crit are the same. Crit is not the worst stat anymore. Crit has been buffed. And the worst stat is Mastery. Now for talents, for enchants, you want to go for Sinful Revelation. And what it does, it actually makes the target take 6% more damage from you, and Celestial Guidance just gives you flat out agility buff. You want to go for either 30 stamina or 20 stamina and minor speed increase. It doesn't really matter that much. 30 stats on your chest. You want to have 15 agility on your boots, okay? Don't be like me, I'm a poor fucker, dude. I have no gold. That's why I have like 202 idol as well. But get 15 agility on your boots and 16 versatility enchants on your rings. So onto the Conduits. Conduits is a new thing in Shadowlands, and Conduits are actually make a huge deal for Demon Hunter gameplay. The Demon Hunter Conduits are really, really good, and I feel like the later on we go into the expansion, the better the Conduits will become. And Demon Hunters have really, really interesting Conduits. And here's a picture of what I'm playing right now. If you're wondering what I'm currently playing in the as of today, in this is January the 6th. But these are not my go-to conduits that I will be playing on once everything is unlocked. And I'm gonna show you guys what I will be playing in the future and what conduits are gonna be the best and what you should look out for. Okay guys, so first I want to talk about our covenants. Demon Hunters, you can choose between Kyrian, Necrolord, Night Fae, and Ventier. And Night Fae takes a cake by a mile, guys. Night Fae for Demon Hunters in PvP is the best covenant there's no doubt that Ventier is better or whatever. Like Kyrian, I'm gonna explain you guys one by one also why. So Kyrian, it has Elysian Decree, and it has a sigil that you place on the ground for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds it will like explode and deal some damage, right? This is really bad in arena because people can just walk out of it, and on a 1 minute cooldown, damage not so significant, it's not crazy. I don't really like it, it's not good. It's probably good for PvE. Necrolord, I mean, this standard is super clunky. I could see maybe it works like if you preemptively use it only for the reduced damage taken by 15%, but Necrolord, I don't know. I haven't even seen a single Demon Hunter play Necrolord, and it's just really, really bad. Ventier, Sinful Brand, if this ability was not dispellable, it would be really, really good. But since Sinful Brand is a magical effect and it's just super easily to dispel by a healer, I don't really like it. Now if you put it on a target and then it just gets dispelled instantly and it's like a 1 minute CD, it's not worth it. Night Fae, however, it gives you the Soul Shape ability, which actually helps you to kite since you're so squishy, like I told you guys. And it gives you the Hunt, which will actually charge at your target and deal crazy damage. It crits for like 20k, 24k. I've seen crazy numbers. People just get one-shotted. And if you use this as an execute ability, and not just to just damage, you need to use this ability as an execute ability, you're going to find yourself have a lot more success. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what conduits are the best for the potency, the endurance, and the finesse ones. In my opinion, the best potency is Relentless Onslaught, okay? Let's just put the 226 on here, so it's like for this season, I think. So, Relentless Onslaught is, in my opinion, the best potency conduit. It gives you an 8% chance to trigger a second kill strike, which is a lot of damage. It's kind of the same as it used to be in Legion. You just spam kill strikes, kill strikes, kill strikes, especially if you have the Chaos Theory Legendary, which I'm going to talk about later. It does a lot of damage. So, Relentless Onslaught, insanely well. The second best potency conduit is the Unnatural Malice, which flat out buffs your hunt by 40%. This is in PvE. In PvP, this conduit is nerfed by 50%, so it will buff the damage of the hunt by 20%, which is still good. So that's why it is the second best. Before the nerf, Unnatural Malice would have been the best, but after the nerfs, it is the second best, right? So let's go to our finesse ones. Finesse, in my opinion, Ravenous Consumption and Felfire Haste are equally the same. It just depends on your playstyle. This one is actually really nice for kiting because it increases your movement speed by 11% for 8 seconds after you use your Fel Rush. So you have more mobility. This is more of a defensive kind of finesse conduit. And you have Ravenous Consumption, which also has 21% chance to remove a second beneficial magic effect from the target. So let's say a mage has 2 shields on top of him, he has 2 buffs, and you purge him, you have 21% chance to remove the second buff. Now, I don't really like RNG. I think I will find myself playing more with Felfire Haste because it's not RNG based and you have more consistent uptime and like you can rely more on your conduit. So I think I'll be playing this. These two, they won't actually matter. Now we go to the defensive conduits, and here's where it becomes really interesting. Demon Hunters have really strong defensive conduits, and the strongest one is Vicious Ink. This reduces your magical damage taken by 9%, and this actually buffs your demonic wards. So this 9% will be on top of your demonic wards, which will make you extremely tanky to like casters. I really like this conduit, and this is like the best conduit by far. Like I will always play this. Then the second best defensive conduit, in my opinion, is Fel Defender, because it reduces your blur by 11 seconds. Shadow Restoration would be good if you actually play with Demonic Appetite, but since we do not play Demonic Appetite anymore, we don't play Shadow Restoration, so Fel Defender, definitely the best. And then Nayatul's Burst, this does a lot of damage, so in the end, this is the best conduit tree, and you can experiment what you actually like the best, right? You can play with like Ravenous Consumption instead of this, or you can play with Shadow Restoration instead of the Fel Defender. It's up to you, but this is what I think is the best for Demon Hunters right now. So there are 2 legendaries which are really, really good for Demon Hunters. Number 1 is Chaos Theory, and number 2 is Darkest Hour. Chaos Theory is a offensive legendary that does damage, and Darkest Hour is used defensively. I'm gonna show you guys when I play what and how you can make the most use of it. So Chaos Theory, Blade Dance has a 30% chance to grant you Chaotic Blades, increasing the damage of Chaos Strike by 50%, and its chance to refund Fury by an additional 60% for 8 seconds. This literally means when you Blade Dance, and it has a 30% chance to proc, it's a high chance, you can literally dump all your Fury in Chaos Strikes over and over and over and over, and it will refund Fury, and you actually most likely gain Fury while Chaos Striking on that target. One thing that I see people do that is very wrong is they don't Blade Dance when they have enough Fury. So don't already be Fury starved and then use Blade Dance and then you get a proc and then you're like, oh fuck, I cannot spam kill strikes, because you need to already have enough Fury, okay? Keep that in mind. The second legendary that I like is a Darkness legendary. And what it does, it automatically triggers Darkness when you fall below 35% health. This works very well with your Cover of Darkness. It actually, so imagine this, a rogue kidneys you, you die, you're dying, you're dying, you drop below 35% health, Darkness will spawn onto you, your Cover of Darkness will be, your Darkness will be 70%. It's not a small Darkness, it will actually, Cover of Darkness will buff the legendary, right? Another good thing about this legendary is once it actually procs, it will not put your own Darkness on cooldown. And it's only 2 minutes. So it's basically a debuff, right? So you can actually get kidneyed, you're gonna drop below 35% health, and 10 seconds later or 1 minute later, if you need the Darkness again, you can do it. And the proc is only 2-minute cooldown. So I really like these two legendaries, and I recommend you guys to get them. And especially against Rogue Mage, play that Darkness legendary. And if you can experiment a little bit, right? Play Chaos Theory, see what you can survive against and what not. If you struggle, play the Darkness one. If not, play the Chaos Theory one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something from this guide. And if you have any more questions, feel free to stop by my Twitch channel. I stream every single day. You can ask me anything. And yeah, man, it would be awesome. If you liked it, you can sub, and it would be so sick if we can hit 10k subs. I would be super happy. And I'm also releasing a Google Doc document where you can read it if you're a fan of reading. I'm gonna write everything out. It's kind of more also in detail. I'm gonna read everything. Write everything, and you can find that in the description below, or you can find it on my Twitch once it's available. So thank you guys again, and seriously, destroy people in the arena, man. I want you guys to pump. So thank you guys. Enjoy. Peace. See you on the next video.